back 1,100 assists for Indiana. So this junior is really taking things by storm.
Gulje Guchtikin will get this match underway, serving for Wisconsin, and here we go.
One of the keys for Wisconsin is on defense. They cannot be hesitant with all these players shifting around. Somebody's got to commit, because that's one thing they did not do well against Purdue Friday night.
And Sarah Franklin starts out with the first kill for Wisconsin.
And Franklin here just goes right through the seam of that block, out of the reach of Alonzo Corsellis.
Franklin had a double-double Friday at Purdue, 28 kills and 12 digs. Badgers get the first point. Ojo got that dig for Wisconsin. Now Indiana sets across and into the block it goes. That was Devin Robinson and CeCe Crawford on the right side.
And one change that Wisconsin has made since that Purdue match is Orjol is back to wearing that libero jersey, whereas Guchtikin was wearing it against Purdue. So we'll see how that change does damage in that back row.
Yeah, that was a solo there by Crawford, who got all the block. Wisconsin, the best blocking team in the Big Ten in blocks per set. Ojol's pretty good at digging it, too. Franklin sends it across. Chance for Indiana's offense here, and there it goes. Big swing. Kaylee Ramelsberg, one of the seniors, a graduate student, Westerville, Ohio.
Yeah, and staying in tempo here, just a real quick touch on that ball from Hayworth. And Ramelsberg averaging just over 2.5 kills per set. Gets a nice kill.
She's fifth in the Big Ten in hitting percentages, Kaylee Ramelsberg, the only fifth-year player using her COVID waiver on the Indiana roster. 2-1 Badgers. Franklin again.
As she just hits a heavy ball, no matter if she's on that pin on the outside or hitting from that back row. Just is able to connect from a great set from Izzy Ashburn.
Sarah Franklin's nicknames are Frank and Frank the Tank, which Frank the Tank, that's a famous nickname in Wisconsin athletic history. Frank. And that's a point that goes out 3-2 Indiana coming back.
Nice dig out of that back row from Greg Onsnell, which really sets up a good attack from the Hoosiers.
Avery Tatum with the last point. Well, that timing a little out of sync on that play, and then Indiana had a little trouble. Now Wisconsin finally gets a chance. The set was a little outside for Franklin, and she couldn't do much with it. So even in the first set, 3-3.
And Indiana doing what I thought they would do, put a lot of service pressure on the Badgers, keeping them out of system, trying to run their offense. Badgers, one of the top teams in the country with offensive percentages when they stay in system.
Indiana's been great at home this year, a 10-2 record here at Wilkinson Hall. Isa Lopez puts this one in play for the Hoosiers. The senior defensive specialist. And there's a big swing from Carter Booth for Wisconsin.
Much better three-point pass to the setter. And again, that's where Wisconsin is so effective. Now Izzy Ashburn is able to get that either to Carter Booth or to Sarah Franklin. She chose Booth, and Booth gets the kill.
Booth leads the Big Ten in hitting percentage, 448. She also leads in blocks per set, 1.53, the transfer from Minnesota. Badgers back in front, 4-3. And again, Wisconsin's defense comes through. Booth was there, Franklin was there.
And the defense right there, as you mentioned, comes through, saves the Badgers, because the Hoosiers are able to get a nice outside attack to Avery Tatum, and the Badgers just there to silence it.
Give that block to Franklin. Wisconsin's defense They've doubled up on their opponents in blocking and hitting percentage. They out-hit our opponents 310 to 140. They out-blocked them 3.01 to 1.47%. And hey, look who's back in the Badger lineup. It's Anna Schreck.
And that's the one player that the Badgers really needed back into their lineup. I wasn't sure if she was going to play today or not because they're playing against Indiana. I thought maybe they would want to rest her when they face Nebraska next weekend, but it's nice to see her in that lineup, and we'll see how far she goes.
Takes a big swing there and misses it long, so that's a point Indiana. But yeah, Schreck missed the last couple of matches with an upper body injury. The 2021 NCAA Championship All-Tournament MVP, and Schreck back in the Badger lineup. Didn't start, but has come in here and misfires on her first swing. Franklin this time. And that will be a Badger point as Franklin comes through.
Again, a great set, giving Franklin the room she needs to take that approach, and she takes it right down the line between the block and the pin.
I mentioned Wisconsin's prowess on defense. They're pretty good offensively, too. They're leading the Big Ten in hitting percentage at .307 as a team.
What a great get in that back row by Sarah Franklin. Another one there by Isa Lopez.
Battle at the net. Booth was there, but it's won by Savannah Colheed for Indiana. 6'3" middle blocker. Colheed gets the point.
And Colheed coming into this match with 97 blocks, just under 2 kills per set. She timed that beautifully.
So Indiana back within 2. First set. Service error. It's grabbed by Kelly Sheffield over there on the Badger side. And there you see Julia Ojol back to serve. She's from Olsztyn, Poland, 6-foot junior.
Really tough server as well, coming into today's match with 35 service aces. Second on the team behind Izzy Ashburn. Or ahead on the team, excuse me, Izzy Ashburn.
Wisconsin organizes here. Big swing. Temi Thomas Ilara. Kill. 9-5 Wisconsin.
Yeah, great read from Temi Thomas Ilara. You know, she's been a great addition to this Badger squad, the grad transfer.
Yep, from Northwestern. Now Indiana trying to get things going their way, but not that time. Another block for C.C. Crawford at the net.
You know, and C.C. Crawford is a key part of the Wisconsin defense. I mean, there she sees the set going to that back.
The negative 0.59 blocks already 4-0 Wisconsin. And a little miscommunication. I got it, you take it. Falls on the Indiana side. 11-5 Badgers.
And those are the type of mistakes that'll just drive a coach crazy, especially against such a great team like Wisconsin. Indiana has to communicate. They have to get that third ball over the net. No easy points.
Service error by Ojol. 11-6.
That's the first of the match for the Badgers.
For Indiana, Savannah Colheed steps back behind the service line. Franklin had a little trouble handling that serve. Now she'll just send it across. Free ball, Indiana. And they put it away. That was Morgan Geddes.
And a great set here off the jump, right through the seam of the block. Geddes, the 6'2" senior, averaging just over 2.3 kills a set.
Schreck and Crawford tried to block it, but couldn't. Schreck, big hit, and that will be blocked out.
And
Good.
Nice outside, or right to the right side for Schreck. Just so easy, effortless.
Boy, that's a great sight to see her back in there. I mean,
Sure is.
how frustrating would it be when you're on the side and the team lost a couple in a row, but Schreck's given them a bit of a boost already. Badgers up 5 first set. Oh boy, what a quick decision there by Cameron Hayworth.
And she disguised it so well. You think she's going to be setting the ball. And that's a great pass from Alonzo Corsellas. And she just turns and fires that right at Izzy Ashburn.
Cameron Hayworth, one of only 4 Hoosiers with more than 2,000 assists, 500 digs, and 100 aces in their career. Put that one away for the Hoosiers. And Indiana trying to put a little run together.
And that all started with that aggressive line drive, dying serve of Hayworth. I mean, it was outstanding. And then she gets in position to set that ball to Ramelsburg. And Ramelsburg is so good in that middle.
One of 5 seniors honored today. Ramelsburg, Elle Hillers, Savannah Colheed, Issa Lopez, Grace Gosnell, all honored. Morgan Geddes is a senior, but she's going to come back for a 5th season for Indiana. Good look at Cameron Hayworth, ready to... Okay, we'll continue with the Cameron Hayworth serve here as out of the timeout, 12-10, Wisconsin leading.
Yeah, they fire at her again. Nice receive there to set that point up for the Badgers.
Thomas Ilara gets that one.
I mean, Franklin getting down low, moving to her right. She passes a bullet to Ashburn, and Ashburn working her magic, and there's Tommy Ilara to tool it off the block. Yes. Temi Ilara, excuse me.
3 times first team All Big Ten, 2020, 21-22 at Northwestern. So the Badgers got the serve back there, but then that hit is a little bit long, so it's going to be another Wisconsin point.
And having Yulia Ojol in that back row as the libero, I mean, she was playing outside hitter her last...
Marshall's the line judge and Patricia Ness the line judge as well. They say it is a tip, so point goes Indiana's way.
So good challenge by Steve Aird there. I was looking at more was the ball inbounds or out of bounds versus the tip.
Yeah, so right at the net is where the action happened, and so flip the point over to Indiana, and now it's back to a 2-point advantage for Wisconsin. Tough serve to handle there. And Indiana responds by stopping Crawford's big swing. One of the longest rallies of the match so far right here. Franklin sends it across right through the hands.
Nice dig from Lopez.
Wow.
Good get.
Wow. Look at a pace on that one.
I like what I'm seeing from the Hoosiers defense, though, covering up the blocks and getting that ball up off the block tip. Here, there's nobody there for the block to shut down
Devin
Temi
Robinson.
Thomas. Oh, that was, Devin
that was
Robinson.
Yeah. 2020 and 22 All Big Ten selection, Devin Robinson. Her first kill today. They go right back to her, and it's gonna work out for her again.
And when they needed a little spark in their match against Purdue on Friday, Devin Robinson was there to provide it, because it can't be Sarah Franklin all the time. And she attacks that ball nice and high, hits it off the hands of the blocker, and gets her second kill.
Yeah, and when Devin Robinson gets on a streak, she can get on a streak. So it was 12-10 out of the timeout, but now Wisconsin has opened up a 5-point advantage. Service ace by Caroline Crawford. So Crawford gets another try here. Franklin fading away a little long.
That's a good sign.
And a pretty significant call as well, since if it stays Wisconsin's or goes Wisconsin's way, they take a little more control, and it will be Indiana's point.
All right, so no touch on that. So not enough evidence to overturn it.
Okay. So that's going to be an attack error against Franklin.
Now Sarah with 3 kills, leading the Badgers right now. For Indiana, Geddes and Ramelsburg each with 2.
Okay, 16-12 Wisconsin, and Booth puts that one away.
Yeah, right off the chest of Isa Lopez. I mean, she was there in the position she needed to be, but the strength of Booth going around that block of Colheed.
Yeah. A little too hot for Ramsey Gary to handle, so give Booth the kill. She was first team All Big Ten 2022 at Minnesota, Carter Booth. Now a Wisconsin Badger. Wisconsin's lead now 5 again, first set. And down to 4. Colheed puts that away.
Yeah, up-tempo offense there doesn't give the Badgers time to set up their block. It's a real quick to Colheed, and Colheed just exploits it, goes right through.
Booth, quick hit. Handled by Tatum. Franklin. Point, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Ramsey Gary got a hand on that, but just not enough to get it up for one of her players to get back onto the court. And this is where Wisconsin just needs to put their foot on the gas pedal and keep riding it to a first set victory.
4th kill of the first set for Sarah Franklin. She leads everyone in that department. 4 kills and 11 attacks already for Sarah Franklin. Alonzo Corsellis gets the point for Indiana there.
Yeah, and Alonzo Corsellis, a sophomore, one of the young stars of this Indiana team. We mentioned their junior setter Hayworth, but also Ramsey Gary, their freshman libero. I mean, the future is really bright for Steve Arid and his Hoosiers.
Candela Alonzo Corsellis, the first Spanish volleyball player in Indiana program history, who's from Madrid. And here comes Indiana. Colheed gets another.
Yeah, what a beautiful offensive play there with that slide. Colheed just goes up off of 1 foot. And so good. Franklin doesn't have anything over there. She just has to do a roll shot, and Colheed and the Hoosiers just exploit it.
So again, Indiana making things a little difficult for Wisconsin first set. And that one's blocked back and off of Booth, and Indiana gets another point.
And guess who it is? Number 15 again, the senior. Matching up against Booth on that solo block.
Candela Alonzo Corsellis with the serve for Indiana.
I mean, the Hoosiers putting a lot of pressure on the Badgers to get in system for their offense.
Back row hit from Franklin. And that time, Alonzo Corsellis just couldn't get enough height on it. It hit the tape, fell down on the Indiana side, and the Badgers go up 19-16.
And that is one of the hardest hits in volleyball is hitting out of that back row. And not many female players can do it as well as Sarah Franklin does.
Ojo with the serve. And Indiana crawls back to within 2 again.
What a nice play there to just have a little tip shot over that block out of the diving Schmeck for Wisconsin.
Well, Savannah Colheed now gets her 4th kill, first set.
Yeah, Colheed had 7 kills when Wisconsin and Indiana met back at the end of September.
Alyssa Ilter sends that one in. She's from Bursa, Turkey on the serve. And Wisconsin gets to 20.
Well, that last, serve receive by Sarah Franklin is the reason why she's an outstanding candidate for Big East. I mean, player of the year, Big Ten player of the year, She read that off the net, sprawled out one hand to get it back up, and the Badgers were able to capitalize with the kill.
Izzy Ashburn with a service attempt here. Ashburn had a season-high 19 digs and 12th double-double of the season at Purdue Friday. One of the Badger team captains. Hasn't missed a match in her career at Wisconsin. Block and out.
Well, and Purdue outblocked Wisconsin, the first opponent this entire season to outblock Wisconsin. And we're talking about Wisconsin's blocking right there with Crawford and Booth. I mean, that's the bread and butter for the Badgers.
And what an unbelievable stat. I mean, that doesn't happen all the time.
No.
Indiana blocked but out. 21 for Wisconsin.
Yeah, Tammy Thomas Aylara just exploiting and getting the tool off of the Hoosiers block.
That gets the Badgers' hitting percentage back to 300. Indiana's improving at 176 in the first set. Guchtikin to serve for Wisconsin. Badgers organize. Franklin can only push it across, though. Now Indiana. Oh, man. Talk about defense there, huh?
Yeah, Franklin and CeCe Crawford. I mean, they just make it look so easy. And as a hitter, you cannot be intimidated, and you cannot continue to hit into that block. You have to find...
A week ago, and then a fifth set loss to Purdue Friday night. And Tatum hit that one, but out. No touch, point Wisconsin. They're 2 away from the first set. Gulje Guchtikin had a season-high 25 digs in that Purdue match the other night, 2 off her career high. Blocked again at the net. Crawford was there. And that's another big swing from the right side by Devin Robinson.
Devin Robinson getting high, elevating over that block and just hitting it off those high hands.
Devin Robinson's dad, Daniel, is currently the head men's basketball coach at Cleveland State University. Very athletic family. Service error at set point. So a little life for Indiana, perhaps.
And that'll bring Candela Alonso Corsellis into that front row. We haven't called her name a lot on offense. Now, she had only 1 kill so far, and she was a big reason why Indiana beat Maryland the other night.
And Grace Gosnell's service error gives the first set to Wisconsin. 25-19 Badgers. They hit 312 in the first set, did Wisconsin.
And maybe a service ace and a dig here and there, but her job is to slow down the opponent's offense.
She was first team All Big 12 at Kansas in 2020. A lot of movement by, well, athletes in any collegiate sport with the transfer portal. Both these teams have taken advantage. Well, that's a serve that goes off of Sarah Franklin and out, so give the first point of the second set to Indiana.
Well, that's exactly how Indiana wants to start, with Cameron Hayworth with 65, make that 66 service aces. Now, and she just, it throws a fastball essentially that just dies.
And that set up Morgan Geddes for about as open a shot as Indiana has had so far today.
Well, and the Badgers usually do not have a difficult time in serve receive, but that overpass was easy lickings for the Hoosiers.
Okay, Hayworth again. Oh, a couple of Badgers collide there.
Yeah, that was not good. You gotta allow your setter to get the ball. Net violation there on Crawford.
So it goes to Indiana. Great start to the second set for the Hoosiers.
But Sarah Franklin, she needs to get out of that way and get in position to hit, unless your setter is calling help. I mean, that could have been also, that made Yulia Orjol the outside hitter, and she does an outstanding job there, but they really rely on her to anchor that defense as the libero.
Cameron Hayworth with another dipping, high-paced serve and a miss hit by Wisconsin. Indiana up 4-0 second set.
And after Guchtikin ends up getting that serve receive up, you've got to get a much better swing. Even if you just bump it over the net to give your defense the opportunity to block the Hoosiers. Much better pass.
Yeah. And Franklin finishes the point.
A huge side out to regroup for the Badgers. And Hamill goes right off the hands, Franklin goes right off the hands of Ramelsburg.
C.C. Crawford serving for Wisconsin. Here's Franklin. Blocked. Franklin again. Got it.
And that little decoy from Carter Booth jumping in timing with that set takes the block away from Franklin for a moment, and that gives Franklin a much easier lane to hit them.
Yeah, things are going a little sideways for Wisconsin. It's not a bad strategy to start feeding Sarah Franklin.
Not at all.
4-2. Yeah, good shot there from Morgan Geddes, the senior from Grove City, Ohio.
Again, a great decoy by Avery Tatum running around that backside. She could have easily received that back set for the slide. And that opened up the lane for the hitter.
Morgan Geddes, who had that last kill, had 15 kills in the win against Maryland Friday night. She hit .857 for the match.
That's outstanding for an outside hitter.
12 out of 14.
Usually you see that hitting percentage out of your middles. Oh, what a great get by Ashburn.
How did she get that? My goodness.
Indiana playing with a ton of confidence right now, really taking it to the Badgers.
Ashburn did it again there. And it's going to be a point for Candela Alonzo Corselis for Indiana.
And she attacked that double block with a ton of confidence. Again, the Hoosiers are running that decoy, Ramelsburg, in that middle that just throws the timing of the Badgers block off and gives their hitters room to get that the kill.
Third kill of the day for Alonzo Corselis. 6-2 Indiana. Booth denied by Ramsey Gary. And that will be a point, Wisconsin.
And what a letdown, especially when Ramsey Gary gets such a huge dig there. And the Hoosiers aren't able to get much of a kill whatsoever.
Oh, we haven't talked much about Ramsey Gary, the freshman from Pendleton, Indiana. She leads the Big Ten in digs, second in digs per set. She broke Indiana's single-season freshman digs record already. Going after the all-time Indiana single-season dig mark. 32 for Indiana.
And just a freshman.
It's tough to get around Booth and Smeck at the net.
Yeah, it really is. And that's one of the reasons why the Badgers, didn't get the job done against Penn State and Purdue, is they were missing their 6'9" middle.
Here's M.J. Hamill serving for Wisconsin. M.J. stands for Madison James, and that time it spells service error. There's M.J.
Yeah, she's part of the 6'2" offense. She'll come into that back row when Izzy Ashburn comes into the front row.
M.J. Hamill's from Indiana, Greenwood, Indiana, so back in her home state. And Smeck back into the lineup, puts that one away for Wisconsin.
And that's a good kill for her. That's kill number 1. Make that 2 now.
Yeah,
2 for
that's
3.
a couple.
Yeah.
Well, if Smeck can be healthy again and be effective again, Wisconsin is right back in that discussion for a national championship, no question. And again, into the block, Alonzo Corselis. But that time, it's an Indiana point. There's Kelly Sheffield. We mentioned his 11th season as head coach of Wisconsin. He became Wisconsin's winningest head coach with his 171st Big Ten match win at Maryland last weekend. He passed Pete Waite, longtime Wisconsin coach, who Sheffield replaced 11 years ago. And Smeck, he's looking stronger and stronger, another kill.
And that was a tough pass to get a setup from Hamill, and she was able to control the spin of the ball and just put a nice set right on that pin to let Smeck work her magic.
Smrek's from Welland, Ontario, Canada. Hamill sets up Thomas Ilara.
And what a nice roll shot off speed from Thomas Ilara. You don't have to attack the ball with a full-on hit every time. Make those adjustments and keep that back row from the Hoosiers honest.
Indiana jumped out 4-0 in the second set, but now Wisconsin looks to tie it if they can win this point, but not going to happen. Alonzo Corsellis gets the point.
And that
excuse me. It was a Wisconsin point. My bad.
The sophomore, Alonzo Corsellis, not fearing the block on that outside. I mean, she's attacking it. There, though, she does get the attacking error.
Yep. So Wisconsin does tie set number 2. Alonzo Corsellis missed that one. No touch. Badgers lead.
We'll see if Steve Air does challenge it or not as the bench.
Here very shortly. Here it is.
No touch.
Okay. So give the Badgers the point. Attack error by Alonzo Corsellis.
Nice to see some young kids watching. That little guy looks like he's about to fall asleep.
It's about nap time, I think.
He's like, come on, that challenge took way too long.
Okay, so Badgers serve. Yulia Ojal puts it in play. Badgers up 9-8 second set, up the first set 25-19.
Great get by MJ Hamill there on the setter dump.
Ben Franklin sent it over the sideline. Said it, Nebraska can clinch the Big Ten title outright, but the Wisconsin-Nebraska rematch will be next Friday at Wisconsin.
Got to give Indiana a lot of credit here for serving so aggressively. They're staying in this match. And right now, they're hitting under 100. Wisconsin hitting at 300.
That was a service ace from Candela Alonzo Corsellis.
And you would think with those hitting percentages that Wisconsin would be rolling right along, but they're not. They continue to have a difficult time getting into an offensive rhythm.
Gary kept that play going and finished off for the point. Morgan Geddes. She's a senior, but again, will be coming back for her 5th season next year.
And that set coming from Hayworth inside of the pin gives room to Geddes to really work her magic.
Indiana back in front, second set. Until Smrek finished that one off.
It was a great pass from the Badgers to their setter and let Smrek use all of her 6'9" stature. And
in limited play today, she's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know, they're really watching her physical condition, I'm sure. But an encouraging sign is Anna Smrek has returned to the Badger lineup and made some good swings already. Service error there makes it 12-10 Indiana, second set.
And Izzy Ashburn, not one to make a lot of service errors. She's a very good server, 23 service aces, but missed badly on that one. You kind of wonder what's going on with these Badgers and their serving today.
Yeah, 4 service errors already for Wisconsin. And off the block, that's going to be a point Wisconsin as it falls in. Devin Robinson gets credit.
You know, Anna Smrek goes out, Devin Robinson comes in, and she just goes right after it, attacking the block. She's been a lot of fun to watch in her career at Wisconsin.
4th kill for Devin Robinson. Badgers try to tie up the second set again, and defense does it. Robinson and Crawford were both there.
When these two teams met back in September, Robinson had 9 kills. But her and Crawford were a big part of that blocking scheme. They had 10 team blocks in the 3 sets.
Robinson will get credit with that block. 8 blocks for Wisconsin now. Robinson, that's long.
And there's definitely no touch on that ball. That ball just sailed right out. And, you know, Robinson wishes she had that one back to make the adjustments.
There's Cameron Hayworth.
Great pass from Orgel.
Great, dug it out again. Franklin. This time they'll go for Robinson. And a little cut from Ramosburg falls.
Yeah, that pass was right to the net, but Hayworth looked like she kind of had a tough time getting that set up. And the timing wasn't that great, and it looked like Ramosburg really had to reach to get contact on that ball.
But it all worked out for the Hoosiers. 14-12, Indiana.
Yeah, long levers definitely will do that for you.
Right.
Yeah, Ramsey Gary was 7 digs to go along with Candela Alonso Corsellis was 7.
You can see why Hayworth gets so many service aces, can't you?
Oh, she is firing bullets.
But Ojol did a nice job to receive it, and it leads to a Wisconsin point.
Yeah, Wisconsin needed to get out of that rotation to get Hayworth off that service line.
Attack error by Morgan Geddes there. Indiana's hitting percentage has slipped down to .085 for the match. With 8 Badger blocks have a lot to do with that number. Ramosburg got him again.
That up-tempo offense, when you can run a quick middle, does not give the Badgers time to set that block up. This is about the 3rd or 4th kill that they've run through that quick middle.
Kaylee Ramosburg, 2nd in Indiana history in career hitting percentage. .327 for a career, a minimum of 1,000 attempts. So that's no fluke.
And that's her 4th kill today. She had 8 the first time these 2 teams met.
So a service error for Indiana. Ray Gosnell. Kind of a reverse of the first set where Wisconsin had the lead all the way. Indiana would get close. Indiana has led for a majority of set number 2. And Wisconsin again in position with an MJ Hamill serve to tie the 2nd set. Blocked. Number 9 for Wisconsin. What do you do?
Well, they do such a great job of following that set, and they know it's going to go to the middle because they see Ramosburg making that approach, and it just gives them time for Booth and Schmuck. It's hard to beat. You got to make the adjustments.
Talk about a wall.
There's another one.
16-15 Wisconsin.
I mean, for the Badgers, they just need to serve aggressively and let their blocking dictate what Indiana does on offense. And for Indiana, you cannot let the Badgers dictate that.
Credit Carter Booth with the last kill. And Booth couldn't quite get it over. Hit the tape, it fell on the Wisconsin side, 16 apiece.
And that's just a mental mistake there. You know, she trying to swing at it too hard. Sometimes you just have to bump those over and rely again on Indiana to make any unforced error.
Here's Ramsey Gray, the one of 4 left-handers on the Indiana roster. Nice received there by Alonso Corsellis. Alonso Corsellis again. And that time it gets the Indiana point.
And they were blocking her to go angle, and Alonso Corsellis decides to go line this time. They go right back to her with a great pass from Godsnell.
That's how you get through the block.
That's how you get through the block,
right.
Make the adjustment.
Alonso Corsellis had a streak of 8 matches with 10-plus kills in October. And she can be an effective hitter for Indiana. right back to her, and it's blocked out.
Yeah, and Hayworth is setting a good ball here to Alonzo Corsellis to give her enough room to work, so when she hits that ball, she's able to hit it right off the block.
3 straight points off the serve of Ramsey Gary, Alonzo Corsellis, and Morgan Geddes leading the way, both with 6 kills for the Indiana offense. And speaking of effective kills, Sarah Franklin gets her 7th.
To go along with 7 digs. Just a nice reverse of the court from MJ Hamill. And again, you know, taking that cut shot and getting it through the block, Sarah Franklin. She's been awfully quiet in this set.
Now Franklin will serve it. Out, no touch. Point, Wisconsin.
And again, the block was there, taking away that angle. So a miss hit from the Hoosiers. You know, just when Indiana thinks they got the tide turn and they're starting to force ahead, they just make some uncharacteristic mistakes, and the Badgers capitalize like they did there.
Free ball for Wisconsin, and Booth killed it. 19-18.
Hamill just giving a little touch set to Booth, and Booth doesn't have to jump more than a couple inches to make match against Nebraska next Friday at 3 o'clock.
You were saying ticket prices are
Over
crazy.
$400.
Wow.
Just for,
How about that?
And that field house, as you know, it is so loud.
Oh, great shot there. Alonzo Corsellis. 19-19.
Yeah, they're feeding her a lot. I mean, that's attack number 22, and the sophomore playing with a ton of confidence.
18 assists for Cameron Hayworth.
Yeah, she had a match-high 22 kills on Friday night to beat Maryland.
And service ace. 2019 Hoosiers. This is Kenzie Daphne. She has got the top spin jump serve that people have trouble handling.
Yulia Ojol just has to lock it down in that back row.
I tell you, that's a handful.
Yeah, that was Temi Thomas Ilara that took that one.
Ooh, big left-handed swing from Hayworth.
Oh, good get from Gosnell.
Boy, they keep feeding number 3, and no touch. That's out. 20-20.
That's a huge point for Wisconsin to get out of that rotation. Kenzie Daphne just serving bullets. Yep, and that one she pushed right between the antenna and Anna Schmreck.
Here's Ojol. Right back to number 3. I'll say Lara tonight. And again, it's Alonzo Corsellis. Well, she's finding a way to get through that block.
Well, that started with that great dig from the senior, Isa Lopez, in that back row. Beautiful dig and pass up to the setter. And Alonzo Corsellis feeling it.
Yeah. Sophomore outside hitter from Madrid.
Yeah.
6'9" Anna Schmreck.
Welcome back to volleyball.
Well, remember when she burst onto the scene in that NCAA tournament that the Badgers were national champions?
Yeah.
Not everybody knew about Anna Schmreck, but now they do. 21-21.
And it's too tough to block that. At 6'9", such a high point of contact.
Well, it's self-preservation at that point. You don't want to get in the way of it.
Great dig from Ashburn.
And great finish from Temi Thomas Ilara. Badgers point.
You just love to see transfer students coming into Kelly Sheffield's program, and I mean, they don't miss a beat, and I think they get better. I mean, as good as Thomas Ilara was at Northwestern. I think she's better as a Badger.
She's now a graduate student in biotechnology, by the way. That one hits the floor, and it's point Indiana. Then Alonzo Corsellis again.
Wow. 9 kills.
Oof.
And 8 digs, almost a double-double for the sophomore, and we're not even done with the second set.
Wow, she's got 28 attacks, Alonzo Corsellis, too. So they have been feeding. Quick little pushover by Crawford. And it stays on the Indiana side. Badgers up 23-22. They won the first set 25-19.
You know, Crawford's number isn't called very often, and so that surprised me, and then I think it also surprised the Hoosiers. Because number 9's in there for her defense.
Guchtikin serving Wisconsin, 2 points away from a 2-set lead. What? Morgan Geddes says not so fast.
Yeah, Geddes, the senior, just under 2.5 kills a set. She attacks that block, but again, that all starts with a great pass and a beautiful set from the junior Hayworth.
Now let's see if the Badgers can handle Hayworth's difficult serve. Well, they'll get it over, but Indiana with a chance to organize. The Badgers able to keep this one going for Franklin. Oh boy, what a play by Geddes.
Now the Badgers need to kill it here because they don't want to get another serve from Hayworth.
It's
they
good.
Got it.
Wow. Geddes found the corner.
And Kelly Sheffield not happy about that at all because he now knows you got one of the top servers in the country. And what a dig there by Geddes.
Well, what a play. Then she got up and got the kill.
Yeah, she just goes right over the top of Crawford and hits that corner. Man, Sheffield is just did give that point to Wisconsin.
Yeah,
yes.
So 24-23. So Wisconsin now serving for the set. Boy, what a turnaround.
Yeah, we didn't even see the official signal that. It came so fast.
And that's going to be a point Indiana. So that extends the second set. So the Hoosiers showing great grit here against the number 3 ranked team in the country. Geddes gets credit for the kill on the last point to tie it at 24. Gosnell serves. Booth.
What a great one-headed set from Ashburn. Wow.
Got the Badger block there. Oh, and Franklin pushed it across in a diving dig for Alonzo Corsellis. Great point here. Franklin. Oh, out. Boy, great attempt by Alonzo Corsellis to keep it alive. But Wisconsin now to set point 25-24.
You know, and both teams playing outstanding defense. Look at this sprawl out by Alonzo Corsellis. I mean, she is outstanding. 9 kills, 10 digs.
MJ Hamill to serve for the second set for Wisconsin. Franklin off the block.
Oh, Geddes, look at that effort.
Wow. And then finished off by Smrek for the second set. Boy, I tell you, if Smrek keeps doing this, Wisconsin's going to be tough in December.
And you got 3 hitters between Booth, Franklin, and Smrek, and everybody knew to get better. And that second set definitely could have been Indiana's. I mean, they were right there. They just now need to learn to finish. And for the Badgers, the fact that they finished that second set after really struggling to finish against Purdue on Friday, I mean, that is definitely a positive thing for Sheffield and his players.
Yeah. Gulye Guchtikin, the sophomore from Istanbul, Turkey, will begin the third set as Wisconsin looks to sweep and head home after a long weekend. First point, double contact against Indiana goes to Wisconsin.
We have not seen that call all match thus far, and that's not something that Cameron Hayworth gets called for very often.
Gültekin, the first Badger volleyball player from Turkey. She wears number 21 because she wore it on her first Turkish national team.
Anna Smrek smacking it down. I mean, man, that ball comes off so fast.
Wow.
I mean, Alonzo Corsellis didn't even have an opportunity.
You see the Indiana players kind of backing away. It's like, what happened? 2-0.
Those are nose breakers if you get one off the face.
3-0 Wisconsin. Gültekin will keep serving.
Yeah, she played libero against Purdue and did a great job, really feeding off of some of those kills from her Badger teammates. But Purdue played outstanding defense against the Badgers, and that was a tough loss for Wisconsin. And Indiana beat Purdue earlier on in this season, 3-1.
Yeah, so that's really their signature win of the year, beating Purdue.
It's a big one.
Hamill to Smrek.
Yeah, and you're not going to dig that out from the back row, Alonzo Corsellis. I'm sorry, with that angle coming, probably close to 7.5 feet. It just goes straight down.
Wow.
Straight down. I would love to have a radar gun on Smrek's hits and Hayworth's serves.
Right. Yeah, right? Pretty good combination. Well, Indiana gets its first point of the third set.
Yeah, that hit by Indiana gets a little bit taken off and rolls right in front of Wisconsin's defense. A much-needed side out for Indiana.
Hitting percentages for the match. Wisconsin's at 296, Indiana's at 091, but blocks are 10-1 in favor of Wisconsin.
Again, Wisconsin having a tough time in serve receive.
Yeah. That's because there's some darn good servers for Indiana. And blocked out.
A great job by Ramsey Gary to get that ball off the block to give Indiana some life and get that kill.
Candela Alonzo Corsellis, the first player into double figures today for either side. 10 for the sophomore outside hitter. Smrek is starting to heat up, isn't she?
Yeah, and that's a tough shot to get. Cutting that angle just on the opposite side of the court, just behind that 10-foot line.
Again, coming off that upper body injury, we've seen more and more of her as the match has gone on, so she must be feeling closer and closer to normal.
Well, and MJ Hamill is really lucky to have her back.
Hey, guess what? Wisconsin blocked a shot. That's 11.
You probably won't hear that this often in the men's basketball season with block shots.
Not.
But, man, they can take a play out of the Badger women's volleyball playbook on how to block.
Booth and Smrek were there, but that's a service error. And it will get an Indiana point. 6-3. Crawford missed on the serve there.
Only 2 service aces for Wisconsin in their first match against Indiana. They had 6. Indiana with 3 service aces in their first match.
They set Franklin, and she knows what to do with it.
They only had 2, and Franklin sure does. I mean, that's number 9 for Franklin to go along with 8 digs. Again, going solo, there's no way that Maddie Saris is going to get that block on Franklin.
And MJ Hamill, again, put it right where it needed to be. People see the big swing from the attacker, but if the set's not right there, it's much more difficult.
100%. And that 6-2 has really done wonders for the Badgers. It gives them 3 hitters in that front row at all times as the setter, whether it's Hamill or Ashburn, is setting from that back row.
Wisconsin's tall timber up front, out blocking it.
You know, it was 23-23, and that point was overturned and went to the Badgers 24-23. So,
oh, they do say it was a touch.
Interesting.
How about that? So
well,
give
you know
the
what? That's
point.
why we're
Yeah.
not officiating, you know?
Thank heavens we're not
Yes.
officiating. Thank heavens we have capable officials to do that.
Well, that's a big point for
Yeah, it
Indiana,
is.
as that gives them the serve, something that they've really excelled at. With Kenzie Daphne with that jump toss.
Yeah, this is something you don't see all the time if you're the Badgers. Wow.
Especially in women's volleyball. Not
Yeah.
a lot of players can do that jump toss effectively.
Overpass to Wisconsin. Booth lost her timing. Gray setting. That's Wisconsin digging with Ojol. Long rally here. And Alonzo Corsellis can't get it across. Booth was there to affect the shot.
Yeah, and again, Alonzo Corsellis has been really good at attacking the block, especially in that second set. But when that pass is so high, the set is so high to that outside, I mean, Booth just hangs in the air at 6'7".
Sarah Franklin to serve for Wisconsin. Oh, great tip by Alonzo Corsellis.
Smart way to make the adjustments, like I've been saying on and off throughout this match. You don't always have to go after that block. Make the Badgers' defense honest.
Alonzo Corsellis had 24 kills a week ago against Minnesota, the first Hoosier with consecutive 20-kill matches since 2015. She's got 12 today.
Well, and she's so comfortable with Cameron Hayworth as her setter.
Booth blocked it again.
I remember when the media broke the story that she was leaving Minnesota to come to Wisconsin, and I was like, Kelly Sheffield gets another 6'7" player?
It's been a streak.
Oh, unbelievable.
Wow.
Great dig from Orjol.
Wow. Hayworth had a rocket, but Wisconsin responded. And now they're going to run out of room, and that's going to be point Wisconsin.
Between Orjol and Guchakin in that back row, I mean, they're just digging everything out. That sprawl. And look at Gulje just going down low. So good.
Yeah. I talked about all those tall players for Wisconsin. Didn't even mention Dana Retke.
Yeah.
One of the best of them all. Robinson takes such big swings out of that right side for Wisconsin. And that time a misfire by Alonzo Corsellis.
But I like that offensive play out of Indiana, feeding her in that middle. And that one from Indiana is coming from their setter, Cameron Hayworth, who's only 5'10". As I say, only.
Yeah.
You know, that's tall for the rest of us in this world,
Yeah.
but
And there you saw that Carter Booth has 7 of those 13 blocks for Wisconsin. Robinson. Back row hit from Alonzo Corsellis again. She has 13 kills.
she got a little help there from the Wisconsin block. It slowed down the ball. So Ashburn wasn't able to get that back up.
Got it off Crawford there for the point. Colheed serves for Indiana. Well,
Wow.
that worked out.
You see
Crawford.
Ashburn so good at putting it up with one hand.
Yeah, that looked like it wasn't going to work out for Wisconsin, but she got it back to Crawford and she pushed it over.
I mean, just that little touch. Because remember, Wisconsin running that 6-2, the setter's coming out of that back row. Normally the setter would dump that over, but it would be an illegal attack.
MJ Hamill, the Indiana native, serves for Wisconsin.
Oh, good get by Franklin.
As you see, it's 6'4". The fact that she can do that is remarkable.
Nice rally between both teams. What a big get by Lopez.
Smrek. That's up in the third row.
Yeah, that's 9 kills for Smrek. What a great rally by both teams, playing really good defense. Getting some good gets in that back row was Franklin, and Smrek just hammering it.
And MJ Hamill up to 16 assists. She's been good, number 6. You see her at the back line there. I don't know if there's some perspiration. Yeah, Hamill wanted some perspiration wiped up. But yeah, Ashburn with 11 assists, and now Hamill with 16. They've put it where it's needed to be for the big hitters.
Yeah, and Franklin picks up dig number 12 to go along with 9 kills and 2 blocks. Again, the Badgers hitting above 300.
Indiana's down to 0.74 in hitting percentage category.
And again, there's Franklin in that back row saving the ball for the Badgers, and that tallies them the kill.
14-6 third set, Wisconsin. Booth taking a well-deserved rest. Tammy Thomas-Elara with that last kill for Wisconsin. And there you see Booth. She's been playing up to her 6-7 frame today. That's going to be a point for the Hoosiers.
And Ramselberg able to squeeze that between the block and the net. And she runs a slide, but away from that pin. A nice little offensive play there by the Hoosiers.
Yeah, good work. Hayworth serve. And a free ball coming for the Hoosiers. Hayworth setting. Blocked at the net. That was Maddie Saris who took a swing for the Indiana team. And it will be point Indiana.
Yeah, Geddes getting a little bit off of that, just kind of rolls it down in front of an outstretched Orgel, who does make contact, but the Badgers not able to get it up. And actually, that one came off the block of Wisconsin.
Orgel couldn't quite get it, so that's the 9th kill of the match for Morgan Geddes. And service error stops the Indiana momentum, 15-8.
Yeah, 3 service aces for Indiana, and there's an error there, but it's been the serve that's really been keeping Wisconsin honest in trying to stay in system and run an offense.
There's Guchnikin's serve. Indiana will have to play it off the net on their own side. Now Smrek gets a set and gets a kill.
So hard to slow her down. Just like Dana Redke from the middle.
Just like Dana Redke.
I mean, the only difference is Smrek really stays on that right side.
Yeah, it just moves out about 7 feet.
Yep. Look at that high point of contact, and the ball looks like it just hangs on her palm until it hits the ground.
And you've got a double block at full extension, but she clears it by 6 inches. And that time Smrek had a little mishandle.
And she'll just smile and regroup. And
16-9 as Indiana needs to win this set to force a 4th.
Gray Gosnell, another difficult server.
Maddie Saris got credit for the last kill for Indiana, by the way. Tipped across by Hamill. Diving dig by Hamill. And put down at the net.
And that started by Ramsey Gary's dig off the Franklin swing. I mean, just a perfect pass up to Hayworth.
Kaylee Ramosberger played a couple years at High Point. Big South Freshman of the Year in 2019. Graduated with a bachelor's degree in spring of this year, and she got that last point. And Indiana puts a couple together.
That jump serve from Gosnell gets an ace as Orgel not able to get that ball up.
4th service ace of the match for Indiana. And that's another put away for Franklin.
Franklin with a double-double.
Yeah. 10 kills, 12 digs.
It's a great side out for the Badgers. They get out of that rotation and bring Crawford in to serve.
17-11 Badgers. Ramelsburg again.
I love that quick middle out of Indiana. The few times they've been able to run it, they've been connecting.
Kaylee, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Kaylee Ramelsburg will be one of the seniors honored after this match, which will be an appreciative crowd. And there's a service error at not a great time for Indiana, 18-12.
No, especially after playing an outstanding second set and really forcing the Badgers to claw their way back and end up taking that set 26-24.
Here's Izzy Ashburn. She's a grad student in business analytics right now. Great save there by Buchtikin. And another point for the Badgers. It's Sarah from staying at Purdue. It's funny. Oh my gosh, they lost 2 in a row. Well, they aren't that far off.
Right. No, not at all. I mean, that Purdue match went 5.
Yeah.
You know, and a little time off for Thanksgiving, and then you're back at it next Friday with Nebraska, and that's going to be a packed house.
Guess what? They blocked another one.
Yeah, Carter Booth. Just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of smiles on the Badgers side. Yeah, did that get over the tape?
I don't think so,
I don't
actually.
think so, yeah. Well, they're credited with their 14th block. Booth and Franklin assists. 5 points away from the match on this serve from Izzy Ashburn.
Kuchikin just playing. Oh, that was Ashburn,
Ashburn,
actually. Yeah, she's really playing a great back row.
And off the block, another point for Wisconsin.
I mean, Kuchikin has also been playing great back row today as well, number 21. But Ashburn just flying in there to save that point.
Devin Robinson got the last kill on the right side for Wisconsin. 4 points away from the match. Franklin, a little change up. And
great hustle by the Hoosiers. Ramsey Gary not going over that line. Great body control.
Yeah, beautifully done by the Hoosiers. And it ends up in a point. Again, a kill for Candela Alonso Corsellis.
And that's the number I'm calling if I'm trying to claw my way back into this. And it all starts with that sprawl by Hayworth and then Ramsey Gray to save this opportunity for Alonso Corsellis, just going after that block.
42 attacks from Alonso Corsellis, 14 kills. Hitting 119, but boy, she's been the focal point for that Indiana offense. This is Kenzie Daphne. Hit the tape. Service error.
It's a big sigh of relief for Wisconsin because she's been another one of those servers for the Hoosiers that are making it tough for the Badgers to run their offense.
Sarah Franklin would love to serve out this match. 22-13. And a point again for Alonso Corsellis. Good day for Sarah Franklin. Good weekend. 28 kills at Purdue. It's the second double-double of the weekend. Wow, Booth. That one just ate up Ramsey Gary.
One that started with a great three-point pass from Orjol. You know, that young lady has really meant a lot to this Badger program, playing the first 2 years as an outside hitter and then getting that libero jersey, and then leading the team in service aces. I mean, she's really an all-around player.
An outside hitter to libero.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, really.
Yeah. You see that a lot in high school.
Yes.
Outside hitters going to libero, but at the college level. But that just shows you the depth of the Badgers front line.
We're at match point, Wisconsin. And there it is. Temi Thomas Alara puts it away, and the Badgers have stopped.
स्टूडियो खोरी पाकर
झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे, झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे, झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे। ना मिली मजा तो खूब गोरियाई रे, ना मिली मजा तो खूब गोरियाई रे। ढेर हमारा मिली हार जाई रे, तोरा जैसा ढेर हमारा मिली हार जाई रे, तोरा जैसा ढेर हमारा मिली हार जाई रे। झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे, झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे। भतार तोर भतार तोर भतार तोर तोरा का पावे भीतर, जान जाई सब तोरा का पावे भीतर। केतन भतार के बनबे पवित्र, जान जाई सब तोरा का पावे भीतर। सुन जे बिहारी से ते करबे ना सगाई रे, सुन जे बिहारी से ते करबे ना सगाई रे, ज्योति सुकेश जी से करबे ना सगाई रे। झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे, झूठ समान तो भतार तोर खाई रे।
सत्यम रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो खोरी पाकर।